Hi, Democrats. Today is Thursday, April 25th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. I'm back, y'all. It's been all week, and I haven't been here. I've been having problems with Facebook and StreamYard. I thought I'd try it today and see what happens. Typically, Thursday is Legislative Update Day, where we are joined by Representative Mickey Dolenz. They are still at it. So they are still voting on bills right now as we speak. And so the rep wasn't able to join us today. He called in. He's coming tomorrow. So if that's a thing that you're looking forward to, come tomorrow and you can hear Representative Mickey Dolenz give us an update of some of the bills that they are voting on rapid fire right now on the House floor. But it's been a week. It's been close to 2 weeks since I've been here. So I have a lot of stuff to talk about, but I'm just going to, again, rapid fire because we'll have Mickey join us tomorrow and give us some updates on legislation. So I wasn't here last week when the chair of Cimarron County was arrested for conspiracy to murder. I missed that, but that is a real thing. The Republican chair of Cimarron County was arrested for conspiracy to murder. It's a big deal. We don't know what's happening, and it's alleged at this point. But right now, that is what she was charged with. And one of the people that she supposedly conspired to murder was the mother of her grandchildren. Stay tuned. We'll see what comes of that. Other news: our Attorney General Gentner Drummond has called on the Secretary of Tourism, Shelley Zumwalt, to step down. And it's just more of the same, more of a lack of transparency in how taxpayer dollars are handled by folks in charge of Oklahoma taxpayer dollars. The allegation, and I'm going to say allegation because I wasn't a part of the audit, the allegation is that when Secretary Zumwalt worked for the Office of Management, OMES, Office of Management. I don't know what that stands for. She awarded a no-bid contract to the company that her husband works for. I have seen that she has gone out and defended herself, well, shall we say, and said that it's not as bad as it sounds. Her husband doesn't own the company. He didn't get a raise as a result. And so she doesn't think that it's a conflict of interest. I've taken enough ethics classes to think that it's probably a conflict of interest, but that's between Secretary Zumwalt, our Treasurer Byrd, and the Attorney General Gentner Drummond. We'll see what comes of that. The Oklahoma County Jail. I feel like we've been talking about this forever. There was are we going to move it? Is it going to be on Grand? Is it not going to be on Grand? I have no idea where they're talking about moving it because I don't live here. I do know that I live in Oklahoma City. I do know that it was controversial. The original estimate to replace the jail, they said it was going to cost $260 million to build a new jail of the same size and scope of the current jail, the current Oklahoma County Jail. Now, as they're working their way through, trying to figure out what to do, it looks like the new estimate went from $260 million to $610 million. So it looks like Oklahoma County may not have enough money to build the new jail. It's just one controversy after another, and it seems to always be around money. I don't know if when you get elected at a statewide level, if you're sent through some transparency of how you use state money and how you plan for state money. But if it isn't, that is a thing that it sounds like we need in Oklahoma. We need some remedial budgeting or something because we keep having money issues come up as a real thing. One of the bills, there have been some bills circulating over the last 2 weeks since I've been here on immigration. Okay, you guys knew about the bill where they said if you are part of a gang and you're from Mexico, they're just going to label you a terrorist. Well, that's not bad enough. They doubled down. And now they're saying basically that Oklahoma needs a law that supersedes the federal law, and Oklahoma needs to be able to arrest people that they suspect are immigrants I don't even know what they're planning on doing with them, because I just can't get past the fact that it's state and then Fed, and Oklahoma is trying to somehow position themselves here. We already have laws. We already have laws. The dangerous profiling that this can possibly lead to, and I don't even think that they're thinking this all the way through. In Oklahoma, it is estimated that Mexican immigrants, and I am talking about Mexican immigrants specifically, spend about $5.5 billion a year in Oklahoma. So my question is, if we gather all those folks up, pick them up and move them out of Oklahoma, how do we fill that financial gap? What is our plan? And it doesn't feel like there's a plan except for othering folks and getting clicks. We need to be focusing on improving the lives of those of us who live in Oklahoma, whether we have a roof or not, which leads me to talk about criminalizing homelessness, which is another thing that's circulating around the Capitol right now, where we want to pass a bill that says if people sleep outside, that they get a fine or they get to go to jail. Chances are, if they're sleeping outside, they couldn't afford a hotel, which they probably can't afford the fine, but who knows what the logic of that is. And it comes back to what I said. We've got to figure out, when we're having these conversations, what is the financial impact? What is the financial impact? Because I think that some of these bills act like it's happening in a vacuum, but it's not. It's not in a vacuum. If we ship off people who are spending $5.5 billion in our state a year, where do we get that $5.5 billion? What happens? If people can't afford a roof, how are they going to afford the fine for not having a roof? Let's just kind of think it through. But we did have a bill passed this week where our legislature said, if someone is a victim of domestic violence and they commit a crime against their abuser, we couldn't take that into consideration. And the governor signed it. Fortunately, the Senate vetoed the governor's signature, and that didn't go into account. I was shocked that was even a bill that came up in 2024, because it seems like that's been decided a long time ago. But I guess when all the world is fixed, you can just keep revisiting old things. That's where we are. We're still passing antiquated bills. But separate from the Democratic Party, but something I want to put on everybody's radar. The state question petition for raising the minimum wage is out there now. It's been out there now for 9 days. If you haven't signed it, please find someone and sign the petition so that we can get raising minimum wage on the ballot. Since we can't get it through the legislature, let's raise the minimum wage. Even if you don't like the way the bill is written, sign it so we can get it on the ballot. Even if you want it to be something else, sign it so we can get it on the ballot, because you can vote against it, I guess. I don't know why you would, but sign it so we can get it on the ballot. It's important that we get this on the ballot, not just because we need to raise the minimum wage, because 30% of Oklahomans cannot afford a basic 2-bedroom rental. We need minimum wage raised, but we also need to preserve the ballot initiative process. We need to preserve our rights as regular citizens to bring legislation for consideration. And that's what we do when we sign the petition. That's what we do every time we sign a petition. Don't believe in recreational marijuana? That's fine. Sign the petition so that it's citizen-led issues being on the ballot. You can vote against it once it gets on the ballot, but we have to preserve it so that citizens can continue to have a say on what happens on the ballot. I'm so glad to be back. I've been gone for such a long time. Hopefully we'll be here tomorrow at 4:15 with Representative Mickey Dolenz giving us a legislative update. I hope he's not so tired after the rapid fire bill voting that they're doing today. Thanks for joining me, and I'll be back here tomorrow at 4:15. You guys have a great one.